What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to a P4G video that I didn't think I'd have to make this season. However, I did make some transfers, and I want to inform you guys about them like as soon as I possibly can. And since they're effective week 3 and the week 2 battle went up like a day or two ago, figured I might as well talk to you guys about them right now. I know I look really weird. My skin tone looks really weird, but that's because I'm very sick and I don't look very good. I do not feel well at all, but I figured I would still try to make this video for you guys so you know what type you're making. My skin tone just looks so off, and it's also partly because I'm wearing this white hoodie. My green screen doesn't really like it all that much. Either way, you guys don't really need to know about all that. What you do need to know is about the mons that I dropped. I dropped Vaporeon, Leavanny, and Mega Alakazam. Let's talk about what I'm losing with this. Let's talk about why I dropped. All of this started with me wanting to drop Mega Alakazam. I wanted to drop Mega Alakazam because if you guys remember from my draft analysis, there was one Mega that I wanted more than the other Megas, and that was Mega Sceptile. Well, Mega Sceptile actually got dropped to free agency because of my good buddy Psychomore. Fantastic guy, one of the nicest people in the league. He dropped it, so I was like, I have to scoop it up. So instantly, Mega Alakazam turned into Mega Sceptile. Okay, so that was like what started all this. This Mega Alakazam costed me 40 extra points in the draft, whereas Mega Sceptile gives me 40 points. So I'm now gaining 80 points to play with in this transfer. So once I lost Mega Zam, I picked up my Elite Speed Mon pretty much right back with 150 speed to 145 speed. I still have my special nuke. I have a mixed nuke now. I have my grass type and I have a dragon type now. So I have my Dragon Fairy Steel Core now. I have my grass type, so the way that I looked about it is what can I use my extra 80 points on? And Leavanny was the most fitting mon for me to like upgrade, because now that I have a grass type mon, the only thing that Leavanny does for me is give me Baton Pass and gives me sticky webs. And my team doesn't really need sticky webs in my opinion. So while I was playing with Leavanny, I started looking at my potential options because Leavanny is a tier 5 mon. I can bump up to a tier 2 mon with these extra 80 points, which is really good. And I started looking at my potential options, and everything that I looked at was extremely weak to hazards. Quite literally, everything was weak to hazards, and with me only having one hazard removal in the form of Excadrill right now, I wanted to get another hazard removal option before I like upgraded my tier 2. So then I was like, well, what mon can I easily substitute out for? And Vaporeon was a very easy mon for me to substitute out for Mantine. This gives me a defogger. This gives me my still very specially bulky mon. This gives me a mon with reliable recovery. It still gives me my water immunity. It gives me a ground immunity now that my team is going to be a little bit weaker too. This gives me a way of wearing down mons pretty easily. And this electric immunity is not a big deal for my, or this 4 times electric weakness is not a big deal because I just picked up a mon with lightning rod. I have Excadrill and I have a Volt Absorb mon. So it's going to be very hard for this mon to be taken out by electric type attacks with my team. So I think that picking up Mantine for Vaporeon was a very solid trade-off. And now I'm looking at what I can upgrade Leavanny to. And there wasn't a whole lot in tier 2 that I was really looking at. Like Amoonguss, Azelf. I don't need Amoonguss because I just got a grass type, so I could get Azelf for a speedy psychic type that I just lost. However, the one thing I didn't like about it, about Azelf, was how frail it was on both sides. It would have given me a ground immunity, so I could take Azelf. Like that is an option. However, I wanted a grounded poison type. Like, I really wanted a grounded poison type in my tier 2, and I wanted a stealth rocker. Azelf does pretty much everything I wanted, except it doesn't give me my grounded poison type. And then things like Crawdon is still available, and then Feraligatr, and then it drops all the way down to like Gliscor, Kommo-o, Lucario, and then like Staraptor at that point in time I could have picked up. However, none of those mons is what I decided to pick up. I decided to pick up a mon that could help the team out in a couple of different ways. 1, give me my grounded poison type. 2, give me a stealth rocker. 3, give me a toxic spikes user. And 4, give me another mon on this team that can easily sweep through teams. And you might think you know what this mon is. However, I'm going to tell you, I bet you're not expecting it to be Nihilego. Nihilego, or however it's pronounced, this mon is something that I'm super excited to try out. Whenever I knew I wanted a grounded poison type, because toxic spikes are going to be a little bit of a difficulty for my team to beat, I knew I was going to be weak to ground. I knew it. So I'm not as afraid of ground as you might think I am, because I do have things like Mantine, which can take them. I have Kofag, which can take them on pretty well. I have a couple of immunities. I have a couple of resists, so I can still take on ground pretty well. Edgequake is a different story. I'm a little scared of Edgequake. However, I upgraded my Leavanny to a Nihilego. This gives me Stealth Rockers, Toxic Spikes, gives me Beast Boost, gives me a mon with really good coverage, Acid Spray, gets Clear Smog for setup, things like Grass Knot. It gives me a nice little mixed attacker, even though 53 attack is a little shitty. It does have a really good move pool, and this gives me Offensive Rock, whereas last time I just had Gigalith. So now I have Gigalith, Excadrill, and Nihilego, or Nihilego, however it's pronounced. I'm probably going to go back and forth between saying them both. Nihilego in the sand does get the Spadef boost, so that 131 base Spadef skyrockets. I think that's 1.5 times, so completely uninvested at level 50. It goes from 151 to 220 something, just Spadef. Like, that's really specially bulky, so that's really nice. Base 103 speed tier is really good for my team, because the closest thing I have to it is Thundy T at 101, so things like Garchomp have to run max speed. I can easily outspeed Garchomp, things of that nature. Same thing with base 100s, like Jirachi, Victini, things of that nature. I can outspeed them, and I can do a lot of damage to them. I really like Nihilego. I think that these three trades are actually really, really good for my team. It makes me a little bit more weak to Edgequake, however, I still think I can deal with it. But that is the 3 transfers that I made for P4G. I have 1 transfer left. I didn't trade any of my Zmons, my Z users, so I'm really, really happy. Mega Sceptile was a mega that I wanted originally. It's a mega that I'm really excited to use just because of its mixed offensive power. It's so strong. It's quad resistant to Scald, so it can switch into Scald pretty easily as long as they're not predicting me and go for Ice Beam. But it has some really good resistances with it. So I'm really excited for it. I'm really, really excited for Mega Sceptile. And then Mantine is another mon that I've wanted to use. And this actually took away one of the mons that I had used before in Vaporeon and put on Mantine, which I had never used before. So I'm happy. I'm happy with this trade. I think it was a good trade-off. And I like Nihilego. Beast Boost is scary. Like, it's absolutely terrifying. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Let me know what you think of these transfers. If you think that it made my team a little bit better, if you think it made it worse, let me know what you think. I'll put a final screenshot of what my team actually is up here in the corner for you guys. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think of it. I'm really curious to know your opinions on it. But with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.